So let's get into some queer sex ed 101, okay? So when I was reading your bio, I spoke about how like queer people can get STIs, but you also said that they can get unintended pregnancies. What about from straps? Can you get HIV from straps?
Yeah, so that one I believe you can because I know they can get STIs from a strap and HIV as an STI. So if there's some fluids from the woman on there and you're passing it to another woman, then yeah, she could get HIV.
Is there a way to clean HIV off of a strap?
Yeah, so there's ways that you can clean your toys, and so it depends on the toy. Like some toys are more porous than others, and so like you have like your non-porous toys are going to be like certain glasses, certain plastic. So depending on the toy, you can boil them, like some of the glass ones, and the silicone you actually can boil.
And there's some things you just, like with cervical cancer, that you just might not have no clues to.
You have no idea if you don't, because there's a lot of STIs that are asymptomatic, which means you don't have any symptoms. So a lot of people think that, oh, I'll know because my will burn, it'll itch, or it'll hurt when I go pee, and it's like, that's not true. You can have it for a long time and not know.
Whole lot of gay shit. Whole lot of gay. I like that.
Hey, what's going on? It's Boss Britt, the most lit.
What's up? It's your girl DJ eXeL.
And this is
the No Homo Show,
where everything we talk about
is homos.
Gay. What's up, y'all? Y'all see we got a 10 up here.
Yeah, me and my twin and all.
Okay.
Y'all like these No Homo
thing
shirts?
Thing 1 and thing 2.
Okay, pretty much.
Welcome back, y'all. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, turn your notifications on. Everything you got to do to stay in tune with the new episodes of No Homo Show.
Yeah, and everybody that's tuned in, y'all know y'all are tuned in strictly on our Patreon account because that's where the full episodes are now. Because YouTube was hating, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody that's also tuned into our podcast, the audio version. We still do have the full versions of those up on all the audio platforms like Apple Podcasts and stuff. So shout out to y'all. Yeah. But come over to the podcast side, subscribe, become a family member, all that.
Yeah, we outside all summer, so we need y'all to keep supporting.
For sure.
Lynette try to take me out of the game, man.
I mean, y'all about the same, you know.
All right,
not too much.
Hey, y'all want to see something? I ain't gonna show them.
Y'all, first of all, since she started,
all right,
she's dirty, y'all. Look, she was chewing gum like a horse. So then she took out her gum and got it on the note. That's just disrespectful. I know where else to
put it, guys.
The trash can right there.
Gotta improvise sometimes. It works great. All right, y'all, we have a special guest in the building today. I'm going to go ahead and do our introduction for our lovely guest. So today's guest was come by to talk about a whole lot of gay is a passionate educator, community builder, and queer truth teller who's making sexual health conversations feel real, relevant, and hella necessary. She's best known for teaching LGBTQ plus folks, especially youth ages 14 to 24, everything from consent and boundaries to how breast milk can carry HIV. Yes, seriously. Mm-hmm. Now she's bringing that same energy to grown lesbians with her event that she started, Let's Talk About Sex, for queer adults 25 and up. Whether she's breaking down toxic masculinity and lesbian relationships or teaching folks how to stay protected during sex, her message is clear. Let's break the shame, name the truth, and have better, safer, gayer sex. Yeah. Gabies, please welcome to the show, Leah.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I watch y'all's episodes all the time, and so it feels so good to like actually be on set and talk about
first of all, Leah been supporting the No Homo Show.
Correct.
And she hit us like, hey, I do this, and I'm like, yo, we want to talk about like sex education, especially within the queer community, because there might be different things we're dealing with than a straight person or couple.
Yeah.
So thank you, because this was months ago that we talked about this and just following up, and we appreciate you.
We keep our word.
Yeah, you do. I wasn't sure at first, but you know, I wasn't sure if you wanted me, not y'all. Like, I wasn't sure if y'all actually wanted me to be on here. I was like, okay, they actually do, so I appreciate it.
Well, some people think that it's like about like celebrity and stuff, and really our biggest thing is like, of course we want to get into celebrities business and stuff like that, but also just topics and education that is like not talked about. So
Yeah.
it does or stories or experiences. So it's not necessarily like a celebrity thing. It's just like,
Yeah.
let's have something to talk about. Don't just want to be on a No Homo Show. Just
Yeah,
to,
if you want to come here and air out their ex, it's like this is not.
literally, like I got to.
I got a story to tell.
It depends who your ex is.
Okay.
I might be like.
You can say that for the horror story hotline, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you have a relevant background, and I think sex education, especially within the queer community, is something that needs to have more awareness shined upon it, because we learned a lot up here, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna learn a lot today with you. Break down stereotypes that people think is one thing and it's really not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. But before we start, we gotta loosen you up. I don't want you to be nervous and stuff. You already know it's time for Skittles and Riddles. All right, you're gonna reach into the Skittle bag. You're gonna pull out a gay riddle. Did you get a shot? Hold on.
I have my shot in here. It's good. It's good. I don't need the actual shot.
She
but I do
nervous.
also have
Look,
my
she
shot
nervous.
glass that I'm very excited about.
Yes. You got your No Homo shot glass. All right. So if you get this riddle wrong, you know it's a gay riddle and it's probably dumb.
Yeah.
I'm losing hope in these riddles. All right, look at you.
Okay, go ahead.
You're losing hope in them. Oh, okay. You
Let's
ready to
see.
answer? Okay, I'm so excited. Let's see. Oh, okay. Why do lesbians hate roller coasters? Oh. I automatically thought about coming because, the peak,
Yes,
the
sex
orgasm.
education. We're going to start like that.
What do you call it?
It don't even
Oh,
matter.
no,
The
climax.
incline,
You know,
the
you
that's
climax.
it. Yeah,
Okay,
the
climax.
Yeah, the climax, So you climbing up and then...
Let's say why we hate it, right?
Why do lesbians hate? Because I think love.
I would
because
love
lesbians,
that.
we have a lot of climaxes,
Hmm.
But the roller coasters end. Maybe that's why it doesn't keep going for hours and hours. It only maybe lasts 5 minutes.
That's so good.
Roller coasters are quick.
They are
They ain't quick.
I think that
they're
might-
quick.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that.
You gonna go with that?
Yeah.
Okay, what is
trust
it?
you.
But
You trust me?
lesbian relationships feel like a roller coaster ride.
Oh.
True. It might remind them of their ex.
Yeah.
Like, girl, why are we
All the way. See, I don't do that. That's the thing. That's why I need to go to my mind. I do not do that toxic shit. I'm like, nope. You want to break up? Bye.
Hello?
We're not coming back.
You capping.
Bye. If you're gonna walk out the door, you're not coming back.
I know that's right.
What number is that?
8.
All right.
8.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Because they didn't sign up for any more ups and downs after their first relationship.
That's basically what we said.
That's right.
That's basically what we said.
It's
Why
crazy.
this nigga fucking with solo waters?
We is crazy. You agreed to what
Yeah,
Yeah,
see
but
how
that's the
quick
other one,
eXeL switch up.
We
y'all.
is crazy, y'all. Y'all two,
I
you
said
gotta
that
take a
sound. I
drink.
said it sound about right.
Yes!
Why? 'Cause it-
Girl, you talking about
it was wrong.
climax.
But I did say the relationship thing, but I said I didn't think about it because I don't do that shit.
You did.
That's fine. I'll take a
You
drink.
lucky you ain't drinking.
Oh, yeah, I would have been
Because you
drunk.
you jumped right on her answer.
I sure
You
did.
did.
I
That's
just be,
fine.
you
She was
know.
like, yeah, that. It was a
Yeah.
good one, though.
It was a
I
good
think
one,
that you
right?
should take mine should be your
Finally.
place.
Finally.
So look, that was a good one. eXeL.
Decent,
Whatever. So today's focus will be around queer sex ed, safety, pleasure, and breaking taboos. Okay. But if you are really a loyal watcher of this show,
I am.
you should know what's next. What we're gonna get into next.
Say the question. Say the first thing you said
What are we
again.
gonna get into next? What are we
No,
gonna
what'd you say right before that?
If
Don't
you're
worry
a
about
loyal watcher.
Oh, my coming out story?
Yes!
Hold
That
on,
is
gay
correct!
shit. Hold on, gay shit.
Yes, Leah.
I
So
knew
let
it,
us
I
know.
knew
And I
it.
just want to say for the record, you are a
Yeah.
second white person up here that we've ever had on the show.
Yeah, the other one was from Ultimatum, right?
Tiffany.
Queer Ultimatum?
Yeah, Tiff.
You're alive.
Who else was white? You?
Wow.
Who
Y'all.
else white?
Wow.
Who else white?
Wow.
Somebody else is white?
You're the person that's editing this.
Hey, Maddie.
We had Maddie.
Hey, Maddie light skin. I had to ask Leah. I said, you must got something in you know. She just from Atlanta, you know.
Maddie Mad was a guest. Her and her
Maddie Mad was a
girlfriend.
guest. But Maddie Mad
Y'all
is light
ain't shit,
skin.
but y'all black people don't remember the white
And
people.
Leah's light skinned too. We had to ask her like, yo, you got something near you? She just from Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I'm from Atlanta.
You basically black.
You can't do that. You can't do
I'm
that.
sorry, y'all. I know I'm ignorant. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to make so many white jokes today. I will let it go. I've been biting my tongue this whole time. That's the only thing I'll say about
It's fine.
I'm sure it's not the only thing, y'all.
I might have something to say later on.
I'm sure she will.
But Leah, let's get into your coming out story. So please let us know who, when, where, why, how was it for you coming about that closet?
Yeah, so I thought about this. I feel like it was like a linear thing. It wasn't just like one day I came out kind of thing. But I think it really started coming out more when I was like in my early 20s. Like I first, like looking back on it now, I think about how I played a lot into compulsive heterosexuality, which I don't know if y'all know about, but it's
What is
like
it called?
compulsive heterosexuality.
So what does that
Like you want to be straight?
essentially means that like you don't even think about you being like LGBTQ because you just fall into like what society says you're supposed to be.
Gotcha.
So like in every like news article or TV show or movie or book, it's all heterosexual.
Yeah, it is.
And so even like as a kid, and especially like growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, even though Atlanta is like very gay, like in high school, for me, the only gay like women were like studs or masked women. So like, I'm like, I don't look like that. So like, I'm not gay, right? So I think that I am supposed to be a certain way. So that's like a lot.
wonder
But
if
That's a
anybody-
good point. Because I used to be scared. Like, I don't want to be like
Yeah.
that. But I think I do like coochie. But like, that's scary, dykey.
That's why you had them bangs?
yeah, well, there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of like negative stereotypes against like mass presenting women and like even just like queer people, especially during that time. I don't know y'all's age, but you're probably like in your 30s, like me. I'm in
Wow,
my mid
not too
30s.
much.
Oh, I'm in my 20s.
No, you
Say no.
whatever.
All
Okay. But I think that I really started like going on dates when I was in my early 20s. I first like kissed a girl when I was 18, and in my early 20s I started going on dates. And I first, I guess, came out to my mom when I was probably like 25, and it just happened because she asked me, "Oh, have you been dating anybody?" And I just happened to be going on a date with a girl. I didn't feel like it was a point to tell her unless I was bringing somebody home.
Yeah.
And so she was like, "So are you bi or are you gay?" And I was like, "I guess I'm bi." At the time, I felt like I was bi. And so she was like totally fine about it. But I've been telling my friends for a long time. But actually, my friends like didn't believe that I was gay because they saw that on the outside that I was dating men, because I did predominantly date men. But when I tried,
ain't gonna believe you neither.
Huh?
Girl, all the
Yeah.
compulsive heterosexual.
Yeah, I was like falling into like compulsive heterosexuality, like only dating men, even though like I had desires for dating women.
Word.
But it was like, I didn't know people that like looked like me that identified as gay, or it was hard to like just know because I don't know, it's just different. And
Like,
people
it
try to
exists.
tell me that I wasn't either. They're like, "You're not gay," and it's like, I think that I'm gay, but
That's crazy.
I do think I think we said this before, I think feminine women have a different experience because like me just growing up more masculine, like a stud, I already,
Way more masculine. My
I
bad.
know you're not talking. Y'all, don't do it.
Way.
Don't do it, eXeL. Don't do it. All right. This ain't about us. This about you. But I'm saying, like, as a feminine woman, it is more like you have to question yourself. Whereas I think as a stud, you just be like, I don't fit into that heterosexual lifestyle. You know,
and
what
especially
I'm saying?
because we're taught that like men's attention like makes us like worthy, like especially feminine presenting women and all women, but especially feminine presenting women. Is like we're taught that you're worthy if men are attracted to you, if men give you attention and men want to have sex with you. And when I was younger, I got a lot of attention from men, and so it was like easy to like date a man because it was like, okay, sure, hey, you know, the first guy that love bombs me feels good, right? And like, so I dated men for a long time because it was just easy.
Yeah. So,
But I never liked them. People always said I was a man hater.
Man hater.
Yeah, I'm like,
Man, woman.
so do you consider yourself bisexual still?
no, I do not identify as bisexual anymore. I'm gay. Yeah.
Period.
Really?
Lesbian, gay, yeah.
So how'd your mom take it? So she asked for you by, you said yes, and then did she come around to it? Was she against
She was fine
it?
at first. Actually, she was just like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me in the first place?" Or she was like, "Why didn't you tell me? Did you not feel comfortable?"
Yeah.
And I said, it just never came up. And like, I didn't necessarily want to just be like, "Oh, I'm gay if I'm still talking to men." Like, I wanted to wait to tell her if it came up or if I brought somebody home.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't really think that I need to like straight people have to come out. By the way, I'm straight.
Right.
It's like, why do I need to tell you that I'm gay? That's none of your business. I'm just going about my life. And when I bring somebody home, okay, by the way, this is my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Why does it
and
matter
I
my
think
sexuality
it give you time to even explore if that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? Because I can see like if you're coming out in your 20s, it might look like, is this a phase? Is this something really you're going through? And that's probably even with your friends are thinking like,
a lot of my friends, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say they did not believe me.
Yeah.
And they were literally like, but you date all these guys and you whatever. And a lot of people said, because that I liked having sex with men, I liked dick. And I was like, it's actually that I like penetration.
Hello?
And that's two different things. I was like, I don't like what's attached to the dick, but I like how it feels having sex. So that's why I realized like, oh, but I can get that from a woman too. And it lasts a long time. You can have any size you want, any color, shape. You know, you can have two different sizes in one night from the same person, but
You like that
you
chocolate,
know,
don't
yeah.
you? I know you like that chocolate.
Y'all, this girl's in her bag today.
I know what you like, Leah.
No, my sister did say, because people always ask me if I'm mixed, and she was like, "You don't have black in you, but you have black in you," and I was like, "Ooh."
I get it.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting because a lot of times recently we've had people up here that come out when they're like 16, 17. So it is interesting when we get people that came out later on in life because there are people who watch and they're like, yo, I wish I could be like y'all and walk in my truth. And so it's good to hear like you still took that initiative to make sure like you are who you are and letting your family know that even if you're at that big of an age.
Yeah, I don't think it matters how old you are. And I tell some of my friends now because they'll be like, "Oh, I want to come out," and I feel like kind of maybe like sometimes I inspire them or something because they know
they haven't came out. They're in the closet
later. They're not in the closet, but they're like scared to start. Like they're like they're scared to go on dates. Like they want to go on dates with girls, but they're like, how are they going to respond? Because the biphobia is real too. People like don't want to date you if you've never been on a date with a woman, or they don't want to have sex with you because they don't want to be an experiment. And I get it too because I went on a date with somebody who's a femme and she's beautiful, and we're actually decided to be friends. Yeah. But I told her because she was like, I never been on a date with a woman, I never had sex with a woman, I never kissed a woman. And I was like, I just want to make sure I'm not an experiment. Like you're not just going on dates with me because you want to see what it's like. Because also you don't know if you're gonna like just because you don't like it with me. True. You don't like it with other people. Do you think
you have to be like in a certain mindset as like a gay person to go on a date with somebody like that? Because I'm thinking like if I've been single for a real long time, I'm ready for a relationship. No. Now if I'm outside trying to have fun, you a baddie. Hello, we can go on a date. But like, I think they are the ones that fall the hardest for you though, because like you show them because. I have dated straight women before, and they will fall so hard, but then year 3, they start reconsidering, you know what I'm saying? But is
that like your experience? Are you speaking from experience, or is it like
I'm speaking
not
from
necessarily?
My experience is
like, just because you have that experience doesn't mean everybody does, but some people will. Yeah. But I think like so my ex, I was like very in love with her, and she never told me that she loved me, and I don't know if it's that she didn't actually love me or she was scared, but a lot of times she would say to me, she felt like I was just so in love with her because she was my first like actual girlfriend. But that's not true. I feel like she was invalidating my feelings for her. And I think it was because it was some sort of thing with her not being able to like open herself fully to me, to like allowing me to love her. And I think part of it was fear.
But I ain't gonna lie, the first time you experience a woman, you fall in love.
Different.
So you talking from the other. So I think you're talking from the other perspective.
But it was true love. I know that it was true love. Yes. I know that I'll think about her the rest of my life.
Yes, because you wanna know why? She treated you so different than these dudes was treating you. And that's my whole point. That you fall madly in love because I'm showing you the world. All the whole time.
Did she show you the world though?
She didn't though, really.
I'm telling you.
She's an amazing human though. She's an amazing human, but I think she just I think it was like I was too much for her. Yeah. Because I needed reciprocity. The thing is that I really loved her and like showed her I don't think she's ever been loved the way that I loved her. Maybe she has, but listen, she didn't show me that reciprocity like a year and a half.
Okay. Listen, before you got with her, you were seen in black and white. Once you got with her, you seen rainbows. You seen color. it was magnificent. She been seeing color.
You know, I agree. It's true.
I'm saying. But for real, I do think, and it's not like a shade thing for real. I do think we treat women differently than men do, and it's a relationship and a bond that a man and a woman usually don't have.
Can never have.
You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, it's
Can
just
never.
different with two women because also like a man has no idea what it's like to be a woman in society, and like obviously people have different experiences based on your race, based on how you present. Like you're gonna have a different experience than me as like a masculine presenting person of color. Or you, even as a masculine presenting Black woman, like y'all have two different experiences than me as a white hetero presenting woman, even though I'm queer. And a man just has no idea though as a woman what it's like. You don't even know what it's like to have a damn period every month.
Because when I tell my wife I got cramps, she know what time it is.
You know what it means. You can relate.
Yeah,
okay.
I heard a lot of straight women say like they don't feel like they like have a friendship with their partner, and their partner likes to hang out with their male friends more than with them, and it's just like women like to hang with each other. It's like let's hang out what we're doing, but I just feel like
we
men
can have a little spa day.
You know what I'm saying? But
you know?
men don't really be into all of that. They rather watch football and you know.
Now we start.
This is like
football.
maybe your girl want to watch sports too. You know what I'm saying?
Not all though.
Yeah, it's good over here, right? This is the better side.
I'm like, come over here. It's better over here. I promise you. It's
that's
still
what I
hard.
think
It's still
too.
rough, and it still has some,
no
issues.
Cap. It ain't all.
Yeah,
it ain't
but
all
it's better.
good.
But it's still better.
So let's just get into a little bit of who is Leah. Okay, so just tell people who you are as far as like how you became a sex educational plug for the queer community.
Yeah, so my name is Leah. I'm 34. I'm from Atlanta, born and raised. So I became ATL. So I've been in like public health for about 10 years. And so originally I started doing working with adults with and at risk for type 2 diabetes. And so I got my undergraduate degree in public health education. And so I worked at an organization for 5 years doing public health, again, mostly with adults with type 2 diabetes. And I would talk to them about eating healthy and exercise, and like nutrition. After 5 years, I got kind of like sick of that. I was like, I don't want to talk about diabetes anymore. Like it's important, but like, I don't even want to hear that name. I don't want to hear that word.
Yeah,
I heard that.
But I ended up volunteering with my friend who actually met through working in the health department, who started an organization called Pride Alliance for Community Health, which stands for PAC, and it was PAC. And they originally worked with men sleeping with men, doing like sex ed, increasing awareness, decreasing shame and stigma, and just wanting to do like public health workshops for gay men.
It seems like gay men get a lot more attention.
They do.
For certain rights. I understand how like HIV gets passed so much more and stuff, but it does seem like all the funding and stuff be for gay men.
Yes.
But
It does, but anyone get HIV, and actually right now the people who have the highest HIV risks right now are Black women actually in Atlanta, who are the population that have the highest rates of HIV, and heterosexual women as well. But we're actually doing a queer sex ed event for Black queer women to talk about HIV awareness on June 28th, so you should come. But so I volunteered for this event that was mostly for men, but they ended up shifting it to be like LGBTQ focused. And so I ended up becoming a volunteer with them when we planned an event called For Fuck's Sake. And so that was
For fuck's sake?
For fuck's sake, yeah.
Okay.
For
Like
FUX sake, yeah. And so it was like a sex ed event for adults, and it was at a bar, and we had some drag queens do performances, and we had sexperts lead panels and answer like questions. Yeah, so I'm a sexpert now, but when I went to the event, I planned it. I like found a bar, I got speakers, I like invited people. And when we had the event, I saw the sexperts and I was like, that's what I want to be. And I just like knew, and like a lot of people told me for a long time that I should be a sex educator because I'm just like very open talking about those things. Like I've always been somebody, like on the phone, I was with somebody talking to somebody the other day, and she said, she always felt so comfortable talking to me about sex, and that I'm still to this day, we've been friends since high school. She said she talks about sex with me more than any of her other friends.
Oh, wow.
So people just feel really comfortable with me because I'm really open, and like I try not to be judgmental and just allow people to provide that like safe space to talk about those things.
Right.
So people have been telling me for years, like, you need to be a sex educator or a sex therapist or like get into that. So when I had that event for fuck's sake, and I said, I want to be that, I ended up looking into grad school, and I was like, I want to go back to school. Like maybe that'll help me like really be able to own into this and like get my education and my knowledge so I can like go into that space. So I applied to go to school at Georgia State. Women, Gender, and Sexuality Studies is the program. A lot of people were doubting me, though. They were like, why are you going to do that? What are you going to do with that? How much money is it? Like,
Oh my goodness.
people were really negative about it. Like, I had to fight for that and be like, no, I'm doing this. Like, I don't care what y'all think. I don't care what you say. Like, I know that I'm following my dreams.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I knew that going to school was going to, like, just put me in those spaces to, like, have the opportunities to do that. So I did. I applied to school. I got in. I moved back here in 2020. So it was like COVID.
Oh, you left Atlanta?
So I left Atlanta. Yeah, I left Atlanta for 12 years. I went to Savannah for 2 years, and then I went to Asheville, North Carolina, a very small white town in North Carolina. It's really pretty, but really small. I was there for 10 years, and I wanted to get out, and it was also like a way to get me out to come back here. So yeah, I went to grad school, and then I was looking up, like, I'm really big on networking, which is also why I came here and how I had the Cocktails and Conversations event is I'm just like, I'm just going to put myself out there. I'm just going to tell you who I am. I'm just going to try to get to know you. I can always be denied. Yeah. My, like, motto is, like, just go for what you want. You can never hurt, what's the worst that can happen? They say no,
No Homo Show, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, it can't hurt to ask, right? Is my thing, is like, because you never know what people are going to say.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I just went around talking to people. I was, like, looking at people online. I found an organization, and I volunteered with them when I was in graduate school. And so I ended up volunteering with them. And then when I kept saying, I'm going to work there. When I graduate, I'm going to work at this organization. When I graduate, I'm going to work at this organization. And I did. And so I do.
Power to some.
Yeah. And so they do sex ed and provide sex education to youth across the state of Georgia.
So is there any money in that field? Because that is a good point, because it does seem like it's a lot of voluntary work that's involved with it. So for people that may be interested in that field, what's been your experience with it being a career?
It is not a field for money. It is not a field you go into if you're trying to make money, because it's like a lot of nonprofits and things like that. Right. Because the thing is, like, the organization I work for just lost a lot of money because of executive orders, because they do not want us talking about LGBTQ. So for the last year, specifically, I was doing a sex ed curriculum just for LGBTQ young people ages 14 to 24. Is the only sex ed curriculum for LGBTQ young people in the United States. The only evidence-based. That means they've done, like, trials, they've done research, the only one in the country. And now, because of executive orders, we can't teach it anymore.
Wow.
And I literally cried in public at a coffee shop when I got the email that said we couldn't do that anymore, because it's so important that we have sex ed, and it's so important that we have sex ed for queer people, because also in sex ed, you don't talk about lesbians having sex. You don't talk about even men having sex. If you do, you only talk about, how to get rid of HIV. And you don't even talk about women's pleasure and sex. It's all about the man orgasms and the woman gets pregnant.
I didn't learn about, like, the pleasure side. The crazy thing is, in college, I had a course that was like sex ed, but like on the pleasure side. Like, that's where I learned the word cunnilingus and all that. I never even knew, like, cunnilingus is a female getting oral sex. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because you never hear that. Nah,
Sound like a freaky little bitch.
Or fellatio. Fellatio. That's the first time I heard it. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to say one thing real quick is, like, because I went to school for social work, although I'm doing my social work how I do it. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to say, for anybody, like, even you, like, me going to school for that, I was told that too. You know what I mean? And I just think nowadays it's like, although that is majority true, like, you can create a lane for what you do. And, like, even now you're like, I don't want to just say, like, on here, but you're going to events, and, like, you can create
your own event.
Like, you can actually create a lane, and we don't have to just work through the typical system that people are so used to. So if you want to chase a dream, it's something that people are saying, like, that don't make no money. Like, if that's really where your heart is, you could figure out a way. It just might not be the, ordinary way people would usually take.
Definitely. So. And, like, also the reason I got to Cocktails and Conversations is because I talked to you after the Blind Date episode, and I said I wanted to come on here, and you were like, yeah. And it wasn't that I didn't believe that it was more of a me, like a imposter syndrome of, like, I'm not good enough kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't do it. But then Stephanie, was that her name?
Yes.
Reached out to me, and at first I was like, "Is this spam? How did she get my email?" And like, what? She really wants me to do sex ed, but it inspired me to start my sex talks Instagram because I was like, I need to put myself out there. Like, I need to start my own business, have my own brand because I'm so censored at work. Like at my job, we can't even talk about abortions. I'm like, abortions is sex education, and like abortion is human rights. This is it should not be a government issue. This is like human right issue.
So from what you're saying, even getting funding cut and stuff, like, do you feel like the government's trying to control the narrative on everything?
Absolutely, yes. The government does not care about our bodies.
And I would also ask, like, when I think maybe more like parents might want to say, like, I don't want my kid learning about sex at 14, especially not gay, like LGBT.
Well, it's like, why not?
And what does that look like for like a 14? Like, what are you teaching a 14-year-old, or like even how are you getting these people, like?
Yeah, where you find these people at?
Like a 14-year-old that's like, I want to know about LGBT. You know, like, how does that work?
Yeah, so a crazy thing, actually, a teacher got fired in Cobb County for reading a book called My Color is Purple. And this is a book about a child who is assigned male at birth, but the child is like, mommy is pink and she likes ballerinas and she, likes all the girly things, and daddy is red and he loves trucks and he loves playing football, but my color is purple. I like ballerinas and I like trucks. And so she read this book and she got fired. Wow. And it's like censorship, saying that like we don't want our kids to learn about trans people or non-binary people. And it's like, literally the child is saying that they like trucks and they like ballerinas. Like, what is wrong with that? It's crazy to me. So even like I do also teach ed starting in K through college. So kindergarten through college. And so how we talk about sex ed to kindergartners is talking about our bodies. I'm like, this is my body. So I actually went to a kindergarten classroom and talked to 5-year-olds about, this is my body and I decide who touches it. And so like, these are my elbows, I decide who touches it. These are my knees and I decide who touches it. We went to every single child in the classroom and was like, what's your name? Oh, my name is, Tia. And okay, Tia, these are my elbows. I decide who touches it. Say it, Tia, and then some of them we said, what else? And they said, my hair, my nose, my shoulders. And like, that's super important because that's actually like sexual violence prevention. Yeah. And so that's another reason that sex ed is important, is sexual violence prevention, understanding healthy boundaries, understanding healthy relationships. Like, these are things we need with our friends, not just sex. It's not just about sex. Right. And that's where people get confused. It's like talking about consent, talking about healthy relationships, talking about sex is about everything in our lives.
And there's so many people, even we interviewed, that been sexually assaulted as a kid, and it seems people aren't speaking to kids at 6 years old because you think, why would I bring this up? Whole time a family member might be doing something or something, and the kid can't even identify what's going on. So
that's important.
That makes sense.
We were talking about up here, like how we would have a conversation with our kids about like the birds and the bees conversation. First of all, do you know what that means? Because I don't know what that means. Do you know?
I don't even know what that means.
The birds and the bees?
But it's like sex, but it's so funny.
But what does it mean? I don't understand the analogy.
I don't even know, actually.
I'm trying to learn it so I can understand the conversation.
It doesn't make any sense.
But how would you explain to a parent how they can teach their kids about just sex? Like, I know you said the elbows and like that, but like that part of it, what type of verbiage can a parent use to teach their child about sex? Yeah,
so it's really hard because you can't really say it depends on the age. So like what we say is that sex ed needs to be age appropriate. Right. It needs to be medically accurate. So it has to be like truthful, factual information. And there's a lot of places in the country who it doesn't even have to be medically accurate. So people can just be telling lies. And so we need medically accurate information. So it kind of depends on the age group that you're talking about. So if you're talking to like middle schoolers, we're going to talk to them about healthy boundaries, healthy relationships. Middle schoolers now might be having sex. So maybe they're having like oral sex. We need to tell them like oral sex, anal sex, and vaginal sex. You can get an STI from all of those, and those still count as sex.
And y'all are saying sex, the word sex.
Yeah, you should be saying the word sex.
Y'all want to be grown? I'm going to talk to y'all grown.
Because people think...
That's why I'm like, birds and bees. Can we just say sex?
Birds and bees, we're going to say sex.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's
but
fair.
Starting in middle school, like, I don't think you really need to say sex.
Like when a girl has like a period or something fresh.
Yeah, and they used to talk about periods like earlier because girls are having periods periods when they're like in third grade these days.
Because
like,
nobody told me nothing about my period besides put that pad on. That's all they said.
We need to normalize it. Actually, my niece went in the bathroom with me one time, and because she's like, little and she loves me, and every time I see her, she just wants to be all around. So I was like changing my tampon. She's like, "Are you bleeding? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna just tell her right now because I'm just gonna normalize it." I mean, I just said like, "No, it's just my period. It's okay. Like, it's normal."
She's like, "That's me."
But then she was like, "Can I help you, Lala?" She called me Lala.
That's
I'm like,
"No,
you can't." I know, because she's like, "Oh, you have a boo boo,"
Yeah,
that's great.
It's a boo boo that happens every month. So I don't know. I'm sorry if I didn't really answer the question because it just depends on the age.
It does, and I think
people about it.
Yeah, I do think at 5 you should say, but like you said, age appropriate, and at 13, 14 you need to start getting
talking
real
about condoms, where to get condoms.
That's the thing. Like I think some people think like if I bring this up, like I'm
giving them the idea.
Yeah, I'm giving them the idea the whole time. Now he's having sex wrong.
Yeah, that's actually not right.
And can be caught with something at 14 that you can't get rid of your whole life because the girl's doing the same thing and probably just fucking. Like I think it's so easy for them to catch like some shit early because you might be afraid to ask a parent or
exactly.
You gotta be a certain age to get condoms.
So you can get condoms at any age.
Okay.
You can get any reproductive health services at any age, and you can even get an abortion at any age. But some places they might try to call your parent to ask. Yeah. But if the parent doesn't answer, you still, as of right now, have the right to have those services. Oh, wow. But the thing is, you might not know, or you might feel ashamed, so you might get an STI, or you might get pregnant, you might be 14, and you're too scared to tell your parent because they told you it's wrong. But the thing is also, they need to know their rights. So that's another thing we talk about is like, here's your rights. As someone who's under 18, you can go get STI tested. You can get pregnancy tested. You can get a parent, or you can get pregnancy tested without your parent permission, and they should know that.
Yes, because kids are young and they think they know everything and don't know anything. And I could see like being very scared, not bringing up something. Scary. And that's why, I mean, God bless these people, but like younger girls have like had babies like in the toilet and stuff, and
because they don't know what's going on, or they're too scared or ashamed. But it's like they shouldn't be ashamed. Like most people have sex, most people do it.
Yeah.
Okay, period.
So let's get into some queer sex ed 101. Okay, so when I was reading your bio, I spoke about how like queer people can get STIs, but you also said that they can get unintended pregnancies. Can you break that down for us?
Yeah, so queer people can get pregnant. And actually it's interesting because there's like some data that says that bi and lesbian teen girls are the most likely to get pregnant. And people are always surprised about that because they're like, how are bi and lesbian teens most likely to get pregnant? But I think a lot of it is like there's a difference between like identity and behavior. Yeah. So like, for example, when I was telling y'all my coming out story, when I identified as bi, nobody believed me because my identity was that I was that I was bi. I knew that I liked women, but my behavior was that I was only having sex with men. So that can be the same for people getting pregnant who identify as queer, but they're still having sex with somebody who can get them pregnant. Or you can be trans. I believe y'all had a trans couple on here, right?
Yeah,
it was a man who identifies as gay and a trans man who is pregnant, right? Yeah. From the gay man. So you can get pregnant if you are trans. If you're a trans man, you can get pregnant because you still have a cervix. You still have a womb, most likely. If you're having sex with somebody who has a penis and has sperm, you can get pregnant.
Boom, bam, bada down.
You know? So, or if you're
Unc is crazy.
Boom, bam, bada bam.
Hey, it's that caught me out. I didn't expect him to come up pregnant. I was like, hey, yo.
And now that you say that, there are a lot of lesbians in their like 30s that had kids very young.
Yeah, that too. A lot. I know people who had like 6, 7 kids and they're lesbians.
And then sometimes you can be attracted to something, but like you said, the men are just like showing you so much attention that's like, hey, I could be attracted to this, but damn, this is easy to get, and you're showing interest where maybe like other females aren't showing as much interest because they don't even know it's a possibility with you.
Yeah, especially as a femme. Me and my friend were just talking about this the other day because we're friends and femmes, and we were out and we were like, God damn it. Like, why do women not hit on us like that? You know, like, we need to wear our rainbow flags and be like, I'm gay, did you know?
You need to wear this hat right here.
We was just saying that, you know, we got a lot of pictures with like studs with this hat, but really the femmes need to wear this to let
Right?
Yeah.
You know,
Come
it's funny.
talk to
Actually,
me.
I was at the Jazz Fest last weekend and I saw somebody wearing y'all's hat.
Hey.
And I was like, oh, we prefer coochie too. Did you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, and it's like, we probably don't look like it, but we do.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's
like I
so
remember
true.
when I was young and like at a club when like the rainbow shit was popping. Like if
Yeah,
I
looking
that's
for a
how
rainbow inside.
that's how y'all let me know. If not,
Rainbow belt, or where I'm from, we have
I
piercings.
have a pussy necklace. Can you see? I don't
Is
know if
it?
people ever notice. Yeah.
see, but
here.
they gotta get too
It's a little
close.
pussy on. I know
Yeah.
nobody ever notices. I'm like, I need to get a bigger one.
Yeah, you gotta get a real bigger one.
It is a pussy, and I do like pussy.
Okay,
you're
period.
wondering.
Yeah, I like that. All
That's
right.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So another one I said in your bio too is I mentioned this that you can get HIV from breast milk.
Mm-hmm.
Now I did not know that, and think a lot of people assume like it's just if you touch somebody and like their blood gets on you or something like that. But can you just get a little bit deeper into all the ways like you can contract HIV, especially more so towards like queer people?
Yeah. Yeah. So you can get HIV from blood, vaginal fluids, anal fluids.
Vaginal fluids.
mhm.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah. Vaginal fluids.
Like
Them
what you
vaginal
mean,
fluids. Them. What do I mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Break it
Like,
down. Talk to me like I'm stupid.
you know, when you get wet and
For
you're
real?
like, yeah.
Oh, I've been thank you God, because I was out here getting everybody wet.
Wait,
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say?
Back in the
you were
day.
getting everybody
No,
I was
wet?
getting everybody wet.
It's not about
Well.
just getting them wet.
Oh, what else gotta happen
Like
next?
their wetness gotta be like
On your wetness.
yes.
Okay, I was doing that. You thought I was dry?
So yeah, you
Like
could
you
get
said, you thought I was
HIV
drunk.
from
No,
two
I'm saying like it needs to
pussies.
be.
I didn't know that, and I was out here.
Yeah,
Mm.
you can.
I mean, I ain't tripping no more, but I did not know that. That's interesting.
So like sperm as well.
Sperm, semen, and then breast milk. So if you're dating somebody who just had a baby or who's pregnant and they're producing breast milk and you suck on their titties, you could get HIV. If they have HIV.
What about saliva?
Not saliva.
Okay, because my friend liked to spit in people's mouth the first time. I just wanted to make sure she was
The
good.
OG.
No,
But-
not
I
saliva.
gotta tell
Unless
you
there's
she
like
was
blood
good.
in it.
Right.
Man, if
you
I
know?
ever sucked a titty and some breast milk came out,
I mean, no,
Some people,
that's
it
a
tastes
thing.
like cream, I heard.
That's a
I heard it's
thing.
really sweet. Like,
Cream?
yes, like sweet cream.
I've heard people that actually were addicted to breast milk.
Yeah.
Like they grown ass people and they like, y'all want some
I
breast
heard
milk.
it tastes really good. I was really tempted to taste my sister's, but I was like, that's weird. But,
Yeah, Leah, that's that white people shit. See, that's the white.
I didn't. I said I was tempted to because I just heard it tasted good, but I didn't. Okay.
That's wild.
I'm
Would
weak.
you ever taste the
Just because I
I
wanted
think
to
I
taste
would. You know, I think I
I'm
would.
like that, babe. I'm like, not
think I would.
taste it.
But
I
not
think you would.
But not
I
on no
would too.
sexual shit.
Yeah,
Just like,
no, some
Just,
sexual.
just like.
people said they put it in their coffee because it tastes like sweet cream.
See, I'm not
Cream.
looking at
Coffee.
No, bitch.
You know, just put a little
I
and it's
don't
good
want
for you.
that
It's
type of
really
cream
healthy. Also, you can get rid of
removed.
eczema. Like they say, if you have a baby and your baby has eczema, your baby has like, because I'm also trained as a
You're
postnatal
not going to
doula.
convince us to drink breast milk. What
I'm
are you,
convinced.
What
I'm not-
you
I'm
come
not
here
gonna
You
lie.
should
for?
try it. It might be
sold.
the best thing of your life. It might change it, and it's got all those nutrients in. You know, you're gonna
Hey,
be
I'm
healthy.
sold. I'm gonna
right?
grow 10 inches. I'm gonna be tall as eXeL next time y'all see me. I've been drinking my breast
insane.
milk.
Right.
What
it
about the
helps you
straps?
grow.
Can you get HIV from straps?
Yeah. So that one, I believe you can because I'm not. So I know that you can get STIs from a strap, and HIV
Yeah.
as an STI.
Mhm.
So if there's some fluids from the woman on there, and you're passing it to another woman, then yeah, she could get HIV.
Is there a way to clean HIV off of a strap, or is it like I know you probably don't even know it's on there, but
Mhm.
like if there was HIV or something on your strap, could you even get rid of it?
Yeah, so there's ways that you can clean your toys, and so it depends on the toy. Like some toys are more porous than others, and so like you have like your non-porous toys are going to be like certain glasses, certain plastic. There's another one I can't think of it right now, and then you have porous toys. I would look it up just to make sure you know that it's right, whatever one that I'm saying. The ones that are non-porous are going to be less likely to like transmit those STIs and things. And so there's going to be better because you can clean them and you can sterilize them. So depending on the toy, you can boil them, like some of the glass ones, and the silicone you actually can boil.
So that's a
what
real
silicone.
thing because I'll be hearing about people boiling the dicks
can boil
like hot
them.
dogs, and I didn't really know if that was a real thing.
Yeah.
I've never boiled a dick.
I
But,
haven't
like,
either,
hot
but I
dogs
will
is
wash
crazy.
them with like a soap and stuff. But also
Yeah.
because like if you're fucking multiple people, you probably should.
Boil
If
the
you're
dick.
just fucking one person, yeah. If you're just fucking one person, y'all are only fucking each other.
Yeah.
Then you're probably not going to be spreading STIs if you're like actually being true and not fucking other people.
Hold up, I know y'all are enjoying the episode right now, but we want to talk a little more about shopstarship.com.
Yes, y'all, listen, we always talking about Starship. And we going to keep talking about Starship. Why? Because you should go there like yesterday, okay? Whether you got a long-term relationship, whether you got a sneaky link, even if you just need personal needs.
Listen, I encourage y'all to go to the website because you're going to get the top of the top adult toys, all right? You need to add something new to that relationship, baby.
I'm telling you, sis.
Or, just surprise your girl real quick.
Okay.
So go to shopstarship.com right now.
You get 15% off with our code No Homo Show. 15% off No Homo Show.
Hope y'all have a good night.
Ow.
But yeah, if you want to make sure if you're using the same strap on 5 different people, you should boil it and like sanitize it and like wash it really well and like wait 24 hours in between to make sure all the things, because a lot of times some STIs can be spread, like it's really rare, but there's certain STIs like the parasitic ones, like that means parasite, so like trichomoniasis or scabies or pubic lice, those can stay on surfaces.
That's insane.
Longer. Yeah, so you just want to be careful.
So is there any, outside of boiling, is there any like way you suggest, because I know like stores sell cleaning,
yes, you can get a cleaning spray or cleaning wipes.
do you think that's better than just like hot water and soap? Like, is there a certain, I don't think that's talked about enough as far as like
Proper way to clean toys.
Right. So yes, so the soap and the boil, well, the soap is gonna like clean the bacteria,
right,
but the like sprays are gonna really disinfect it, and like those are two different things. So the disinfect is gonna really help you to get rid of the things like STIs, but also the time will help get rid of it, because the STI can only live on a surface for so long. Also, I wanted to clarify like STI and STD,
right,
because I feel like a lot of people get confused about that. But like in the sex ed world, we try to say STI, which is sexually transmitted infection, instead of STD, which is sexually transmitted disease, just to kind of like rid of the like shame and stigma and stereotypes that come along with it. So it's really the same word, but just changing the language.
But infection you can get rid of, a disease you can't.
Yeah, so but it's still the same thing. Like we still call HIV an STI. Even though, because it's just changing the language of what it, even though HIV, you will have it for the rest of your life, but it can be
but don't have to be
treated.
AIDS.
Yes. So it won't turn into AIDS if you're like going to the doctor, taking your medications to like,
stabilize it.
Yes, to stabilize it. And also there's something called U equals U, which is undetectable equals untransmittable. So if you have HIV, but you're taking your medications and you're going to the doctor and they're telling you, okay, you have it, but it's undetectable, that means you're like, it's, pretty my words, but like stabilize, I guess we'll say. Kind of like if you have cancer, right? And then they're like, oh, you're in remission.
Okay.
It's kind of like a similar thing.
So if you're undetectable, that means you can't transmit it.
Cannot transmit it. So you don't have to wear condoms. And
but is that scary? Like,
it's so scary. Yeah.
I don't think you should
still
even
talk
risk
to people
it.
about
I
it.
don't think you should risk.
I mean, they say U equals U in the medical field. They say it means undetectable equals untransmittable. So that means that you can't have sex with somebody with HIV and not get it. But that's up to you. If someone with HIV, to tell somebody, because that's consent. Right. I'm informing you. It's informed consent that I have HIV, but here's my paperwork that says undetectable equals untransmittable. And you, as the person having sex with them, can choose if you still want to risk that.
I'm not going to lie, and I hate to say this, but if somebody is told that they're undetectable, they're probably not going to tell people that they even have it.
They probably won't.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, anybody tuned in, I do think if you're having sex with somebody that you might not fully trust or something, like, still use protection.
My charts?
Yeah.
My chart?
There's another thing that I know this is in a STI, right? But BV, right?
Bacterial
women
vaginosis.
Still get BV without intercourse and stuff? Because I recently heard a stud saying, I never had that and I ain't never have no dick inside of me.
Oh.
So is that like a misconception or something? Like, could a woman still get BV without having intercourse?
That's a good question. I can't say that I know for sure the answer, so I'm just saying that I think that you can. Just like a yeast infection, you can get that without having sex. So I feel like you could get a bacterial vaginosis,
Yeah.
maybe without, but I'm not positive. But I think that you can, and also you can spread it with the strap, and you can. So if you're having, I mean, maybe they're like, I'm a stud, so I don't even take strap, but. If they're rubbing their pussy on somebody else's pussy who has BV, you can get it.
And BV is
Thank you for pointing that out, 'cause
I feel like you
people
could.
don't understand
quote me
that
on it.
they
I'll
still
look
get
it up
that.
for sure, but because that's not brought up very often.
Yeah.
But I think that you probably could, because you also can with a yeast infection.
And BV is technically like too much like bad bacteria inside of you. So I'm just feeling
It's
like
similar
that's
to a yeast
not just
infection.
coming from sex.
Yeah,
you know
because you
what
can
I'm
get
saying?
like yeast infections when you're a child, like from
Right.
going to the pool and wearing your wet bathing suit all day. I feel like the same could be with BV.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was like, I didn't even know what BV was, but you just said it. Yeah, I don't.
Vaginosis.
Yeah, I just go to the doctor. I say, check my shit, and if I'm good, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But I do think it's important to touch on certain things because, like I said, the coochie bumping. I don't think people understand that you can get things. Yeah, like you said, studs think that we are like.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna catch
You'll
nothing. I'm
never
just
get
giving
an
my dick out.
STI.
Like you can still catch something.
And I just said before, like, because I felt like I was a stud and I never had sex with a man, like I didn't go to a gynecologist to my later 20s.
Same.
Because you're not taught that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it was also like I didn't have no reason to. Like I wasn't like,
I'm not having sex. I'm not sexually
or
active.
like I'm not like got no itch or nothing, so I'm fucking good. Which I probably was a little more safe, you know, but women still do, even outside of sexual things, need to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think it's like a like being a stud, you gotta be like so masculine. You can't go get your coochie checked, you know, like because that's how I feel.
Because also you have to put the speculum in there. Yes. That shit hurts even as somebody who takes penetration.
And you know what? People like you made me not want to go.
Yeah.
I keep saying
I don't want to go either.
It hurt that bad, right?
Nah.
It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. But people make me feel like it's the worst thing in the world.
But everybody's body is different. It might be for them.
People told me I'm gonna hate it.
I mean,
the worst thing.
It's not something I'm looking forward to at all. But
I
it was
hate it. I treat it every day.
It's quick, right?
Yeah.
It feels like a long time, but it's important. I don't like it either.
Yeah, I don't like it,
but it's like 7 minutes. But sometimes it makes you bleed.
You count down.
7, 6. No, just
okay. Yeah, no, we be trying to teach our dom and our studs that watch the show, like, bro,
it's
go
important.
Get
you got to get it too. Also for cervical cancer.
Exactly.
You don't want to have cervical cancer or anything like that.
And
it's
there's
really important. Get your coochie fixed or checked.
And there's some things you just like with cervical cancer that you just might not have no clues to.
You have no idea if you don't, because there's a lot of STIs that are asymptomatic, which means you don't have any symptoms. So a lot of people think that, oh, I'll know because my coochie will burn, it'll itch, or it'll hurt when I go pee, and it's like that's not true. You can have it for a long time and not know.
And another thing is, I think a lot of adults don't go because they don't have health insurance.
Yeah,
and I don't know the answer for that, but I think it's probably under like maybe $200. I don't know because I do got health insurance now, but when I didn't,
also
it
the
wasn't
health
a
department
priority.
should be free or very cheap and affordable.
You said what?
The health department should be free and or affordable.
So I want to encourage people that don't even have health insurance to do that as well. What's up? You good? You can sit down. We just recorded. We just recorded.
Yeah, cause one time before I didn't have health insurance and I went, my bill was $900 to get all of my testing done. Yes, and you know how they keep saying like, I don't know if y'all know, but they be like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna cost you or not. You're gonna have to find out later. My bill was $900.
Did you try to dispute it? Because sometimes
it
if you
got
dispute
disputed.
it,
It did, because I was able to prove that I don't make nothing, you know.
Some people don't know that either. Like if you get a bill, call. I don't know how many medical bills I got in the mail where I just called them and I was like, I should not be paying this. They're like, oh yeah, sorry, that was an accident.
Yeah, I was like, nah,
They do that on purpose. My breast reduction, we ain't talk about no money, because my health insurance covered. Yeah. But I definitely got a bill, although it was like $3,000. But like y'all didn't even tell me that you know, have to ask. Yeah, but I ain't gonna ask. Don't ask, don't tell, bitch.
Right, that's what it's giving.
Don't tell me, okay?
That's really what it's giving.
But also the crazy thing, now that you're saying that, I went to a place that I guess it must have been like a private place for like where I got like my yearly checkup, and they were like, did you want to get tested for STDs? I'm like, yeah, just because
Mm-hmm.
why not?
Yeah.
Right. But then when I like checked out, I had to pay for that, and they're like, yes, this isn't covered under insurance.
That's how they
I'm
get
like,
you.
yeah, and I'm like, you know,
Right.
I've
You
been
gotta
with the same
ask.
woman for forever, so like I really didn't need this. I just got it because I
Right.
thought it was included.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know
I'm
what
like,
I'm saying?
yeah, run it all up. Give me all the
Yeah.
testing while I'm here.
Nah,
$900 later.
Right.
I'm like, y'all can be fucked up. They ain't see a penny of that.
okay.
But that's good. You gotta dispute it.
We
though.
know they didn't, Britt.
I actually have a bill on my desk right now that I'm waiting to call to be like,
Fuck that bill.
you did this thing, and
That's a good point though. Calling
Yeah.
sometimes they really will.
they
wait
will.
for
That's
you,
happened
yeah.
so many times.
That's the
Because we have to
call
advocate
queen.
for ourselves. That's another thing is like advocating for ourselves that people don't talk about enough. Is like, how much is this thing going to cost? Do I really need to get this? Or are you just telling me I need to get this? Are
Yeah.
you not listening to me? Hello, listen to me. And like, bring a friend with you if you feel like you're not going to be listened to at the doctor.
And you know what? Another thing I don't think we talk about is like, especially people that are sexually active are afraid to get tested because they're afraid
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
something like the first time I got an HIV test, I don't even know why I was so afraid, but
No, I
just,
was afraid
you
too.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
so true.
The first time I got an HIV
Yeah.
test, I was horrified, and
That's
I
so
had no scares or nothing. I just was like,
Yeah.
bro, if I have this is life changing. You know what
That's
I
so
mean?
true.
Yeah.
And I think we just like watching my sister go through cancer and stuff. It's like, yo, you're better off knowing before it gets worse. And I just want to tell y'all that.
Yes,
like, even if
true.
you do have something, it's better to know now. Especially with AIDS, you can with HIV, you can prevent getting AIDS if you get it if you're proactive with it.
Get your-
Yes, take
Yeah.
your medication, take it early. You can be undetectable. You can live for a long time.
Yeah.
Don't be. I'm gonna leave that for that. Go ahead.
All right, let's talk a little bit about consent, communication, and boundaries. So, what is some advice that we can speak all to this? Advice for folks who struggle to speak up before, during, and after sex.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
One thing I
About
really advocate for about that. I really advocate for sexting. I think sexting is a really great tool to talk about consent and boundaries.
I got proof, bitch, right
Yeah,
here.
some receipts.
Type in the keyword.
Hey, you stupid as fuck.
It really is though, because sometimes it can be easier to like say things via text, you know?
Yeah.
And so it can be a great way to be like, I really like this thing. Like, I really want you to do this thing to me. Oh, but I don't like this thing.
But you know what I hate about sexting sometimes? Some people give too much energy in the sexting. And then you get them in person.
And then they're
and
not.
the bitch quiet as can be. As a fucking mouse.
Calm down.
Like, where that certain energy at 9:36 p.m.? You said when you see me, you gonna ride that shit like a goddamn rodeo.
I hate you.
I can hear you got the blanket on tightly kept. You got all
got
your
the blanket
clothes on.
Yeah.
Like, what is like?
about why you
like
looking?
the sexting be a little tease. Like,
Okay, that's true. Because some people just kind of get off on it because it's like fun. It's like, ooh.
don't be selling nobody no fake fucking false narrative.
You hit a nerve with
of
that.
prophecy and stuff, man. I thought
But
about
it's
to go
also
there.
like maybe they really wanted to do that thing and then
Yeah.
they changed your mind.
Ah,
like,
bitch, don't
okay.
change your mind.
No, that's okay because consent is reversible. You can take it back.
All right.
I hate you.
Consent is
I
like
hate
fries.
All right,
It's like
consent
fries.
is reversible.
Say keep that same energy.
Basically, I like consistency.
No, I get that though because it feels like and maybe then that's where you'd be like, is this what you want to do for real or this just a fantasy? You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because maybe they're like, no, I'm just talking, or maybe they're like, yes, for real.
Yeah, people be
Yeah,
bored.
because that's even where like all that shit. What's his name going through right now?
Oh, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp. Like, because she was saying, like, apparently they were talking like that. And then when he talked like that to her on the recorded line, it sounded crazy.
sound crazy
But
as
the
hell.
whole time, like,
Yeah.
that could have been a thing they was consenting to do. As far as,
Right.
like, what's that role play? What,
Like consensual non-consent?
Oh, they was just some
consensual
BDSM and
non-consent
shit.
is crazy.
What is it?
Consensual non-consent is basically like, yeah, so I want you to like rape me, but I'm like consenting to it.
Like role playing rape and stuff.
Yeah. But some people like that because it can be like kind of a way to like reclaim a story.
I was
Maybe
gonna ask,
for
is
some
that a
people.
trauma response
It
or is
could
that a
be.
real kink?
It could be different for everybody, but I know there have been people who have said that is kind of like their reclaiming of like, now I'm choosing because this is what I want from this person that I trust. So it's not really
I'm
rape
sorry,
because
baby.
you know
Rapist
that it's
is
happening.
not my,
I mean, me neither, you know, but like some people it is.
yeah, wow.
I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Okay.
Did I ever answer the question? I don't even remember what the question was.
Yeah, sexting. We were talking about advice for
boundaries
people
in
who struggle to
relationship.
speak up before, during, after. So I guess that's like before. So what would you say during and
Yeah,
after?
during. Like, I think it is really, and I learned this at an older age. But even like when I dated men, my women friends would say to me like, because I'd be like, I'm gonna tell them like you're too fat, or
Right.
slower,
Like Jack
faster,
Rabbit.
harder.
Yeah.
Like I think it's important to be able to say those things. But the thing is like men, they don't want to receive that because it's their ego. They're like, no, I know how to fuck you. I'm telling you how to fuck me.
Right.
And you don't want to listen, so actually you don't know how to fuck me.
Right.
But so it's the male ego gets in the way.
And
Yeah.
men so dumb.
And people shouldn't take that personal.
Right.
No, it's like, I'm just teaching you how to please me. There's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because maybe they think that, maybe they had a girl who liked that. And now that they're on you, they think you probably like that too. It's like, no,
Exactly.
your old girl like that. I don't want that Jack Rabbit
I'm
shit.
different.
Go slow, baby.
Right. Some people like it slow. Some people like it fast. Some people like it hard. Everybody. So just being comfortable to say slower, faster, harder, to the left, to the right. You know what I mean? Like a little, just the tip. You know what I mean? Like being able to say those things like out loud, because during text, like and then after talking about like, oh, I really liked when you, had 2 fingers inside of me when you were like sucking on my clit really hard. Yeah. Or you're like, next time, like, don't put the 3rd finger in. That was too much. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you like.
That's how she communicates.
Okay.
You like that 3rd one.
Yeah.
I'm cool with the 2.
Yeah, just the 2
3rd one in there.
Y'all, this straight.
No, I think that comes with maturity because, like you said, as you got older, you were able to have those conversations. Because, I do feel like in the past, I probably thought I was killing it, and I did. Man, I could only...
And they're like, what is she doing? Oh, my God, that was too much.
All right, creepy.
I can only imagine.
What was that?
Their
That's
creepy
my
ass ringtone.
All right, so let's get into a little bit about sex, trauma, and kink. What's something that you've come across that people don't realize ties back to past experiences?
Oh, in terms of like kinks or in trauma?
Yeah, kink, trauma, and sex, yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know if I can answer it, but I think kind of like what we talked about earlier with like the consensual non-consent, that could be like they've had like been experienced rape or sexual violence or sexual trauma, that they want to now experience that to reclaim it.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing actually a lot of people are not into like kink or BDSM. Like, are y'all? Are y'all kinky BDSM?
People say they are into it.
That girl wears leather.
I mean, y'all did have the ladies in leather thing.
You
Yeah,
was there.
I was there.
And you was
Oopsie.
getting spanked. I saw you bent over on that table, Leah.
I did. I was like, oh no.
Were you?
You saw
How'd
me
you
get
feel
bent
when
over.
you? Let me tell you. So yeah, we had this party, y'all. It was like a BDSM thing, right? And we had Divine Ray come there, and they were doing what would you call it? Like a
Kink demo BDSM
boom.
scene.
And they were having people come up and try it. Now it's a packed club.
It was.
And I saw Leah go up there.
They have a paddle.
Yeah, with a
I got
paddle.
paddles.
So like, were you like intimidated to do that in front of people, or you was just like, did you just block everybody out in the room and you was like, I want my ass spanked?
Well, it's so funny because so I am like into kink and BDSM. I like going to things. Actually, Divine Ray and Goddess Mo, I believe, used to be part owners of Kink Club. I hope it's okay for me to say that.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Dark Haven ATL, which I used to frequent. I didn't know at the time. Yeah, and so I went to that event and I was so excited that they were going to be there.
Yeah.
And I wore my little outfit, and it's funny because all my friends are like, "Are you gonna be in that? What are you doing? You wearing that? Okay, girl." And then, I guess you were saying, "Does anybody want to play with Divine Ray?" And I heard it, but I didn't know you actually meant it. Like I thought you were. But then my friend was like, "Leah, go up there, go up there." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "Go up there." She's saying, "Does anybody want to play with Divine Ray?" I was like, "Oh shit, yeah." So I just like ran up there. I wasn't even thinking. I literally ran. I was like, me? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then.
Yeah. I love that for y'all. I do think some girls say they're into it, but when it come down to it, I don't
She got a lot of experience.
Because like one time this girl's like, yeah, tie me up, whoop, whoop, whoop. And I could just tell like she ain't really want to be tied up. Like, bitch, you don't want to be a pig right now.
A pig.
I
She want to be hog-tied all the way?
I had her hog-tied crazy.
Wow.
And then I tied her up.
Do you
to
know
the
how to
bed
do
and
them?
shit. Yeah, I just little video search. This is my first time doing it, so I probably did it wrong as
first
well.
time?
I probably did it wrong as well. But I just know I had her at one point like this, and the legs was out, and she was blindfolded and shit. I don't know if she liked it or not.
You know,
I didn't like it too much or anything. I actually at that point learned that I like to be the one being tied up. I don't want to tie up.
Surprising. Okay, Britt,
Why is it surprising though?
I don't know because, like, at least from my experience, like a lot of like studs or mass presenting women,
she's
don't
not
want.
a stud. She is a
little
bitch.
I don't feel right doing that to like a pretty girl. Like I was like, bitch, you can do that to me, but like,
no, I love that though. Like
I
that's what
feel
I'm looking
bad.
for. Honestly, I'm looking for a stud or like a mass woman who's like okay with like receiving those things, or like because a lot of mass women don't, and it feels like stifling for me. Like I understand people's boundaries and consent, and I respect it, and I will not do those things. But like,
that's interesting.
just be
So
gay.
I'm different.
That's
You
good.
are.
I mean, there's
Different.
studs
Yeah,
out there. There's
Pull up to the same with my
what the fuck? Nah,
Y'all had to learn
I know I dated one person that was like, they told me they were into it, right? But I wasn't really, I'm not really into that. And I think like, it might have been like
Harder.
Valentine's Day or something. Like, I might have got like a little something, but it was like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
I didn't feel confident in doing anything. And I kind of felt like if you were into that, I think it should be, you should tell the person kind of what you want. Cause like, I think as a partner, you should, even if you're not into it, you should be open to try it with somebody that is. Cause I always feel like, yo, if you're not doing it for your girl and that's what she wants, somebody else would.
That's
But it also was like, I had no guidance on that. You know what I'm saying? So I do think like, yo, if you're into it, like don't, and your partner's not, like, kind of take the role in telling them, even if you want them to do it to you, tell them what to do or get the stuff. You know what I mean? Shit, I might have had a little baby whip. She might want some real shit.
Okay.
Girl, I'm afraid I'm gonna hurt you.
Django, she said,
I'm sensitive. Nah, I ain't saying like
No,
that.
I'm saying,
Like,
some bitches.
but I'm saying like, I look at that like that shit hurt.
That's what I'm saying. I don't feel
some
right
people
doing
like
that
it,
to like a
though.
feminine girl.
You
I just
like
feel
it.
like I'm
do.
beating, like it just don't feel right, you know? And then I just feel like people should, you know, just because that's somebody else's thing doesn't mean you have to make it your thing.
No.
I think people should speak up more about that because I do feel like in the past, like if I wanted to do something, I feel like a person would want to do it just to please me because like you said, if I
But
don't
you
get it from them.
should.
But I can tell they don't, because they told me later, like, I really don't like that
Yeah.
and don't think we're going to do that all the time. And I'm like, oh, well, if you ain't like it, I would never did it. I thought, it was like, yeah, I just wanted to please you. But it's like, no, I really would not have offered to do that if you didn't like it. So I do feel like people got to speak up more and not just be like doing it just because a person likes it. Like, if you ain't into it, say that shit.
Yeah,
No,
but I
yeah.
also think like everything we're talking about is the importance of like being in a healthy relationship.
That
You know what I
part.
mean? Because even telling somebody like fast or slow or whatever, like you might not want to do that the first time you fucking with
don't tell
somebody.
me what the fuck to do.
You know what I'm saying?
Shut up.
Now,
No, don't say that.
like, but now, like, if we're in a relationship and I know you're saying this, like, because you really just trying to guide me through it or something,
Right.
yeah. Or if it's like you said, like, if you got like a kink or something, like, yeah, I'm not about to like do this every time, but like, I might give it a try. But I'll tell you, like, all right, I ain't comfortable with that. But like, some people would just be trying to get into stuff without like having that communication and be in weird situations.
Yeah.
It might feel pressured, but it's not like rape or anything, but you feel really uncomfortable that might cause some trauma, but the whole time it's because you don't even feel comfortable to communicate, but you feel comfortable to have sex with this person.
Right.
That's weird.
That's something I talk to people about, especially young people, but adults need to hear it too.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't feel comfortable. Also, I talk about like laughing during sex. Like you should be able to laugh while you're having sex, and if you can, then maybe you shouldn't be having sex with them because it's gonna be like weird. It might be awkward sometimes. Things might happen that like make you uncomfortable, but you should be able to laugh and like have fun. And so same with like if you can't laugh with them or like tell them what you like, then like you probably shouldn't be fucking that person because if they're not respecting your boundaries.
No, that's
Then when are they gonna respect them?
Yeah, those are really good points. Because this one time I put some wax on this girl and I could tell she did not like that.
There's something
I
called
bought that wax
BDSM
out. I was
test.
like, yeah, bitch.
Have y'all taken that?
What?
The BDSMtest.org. I think it's BDSM.
No, but I will do it tonight.
BDSMtest.org.
What does it tell you? Like if you a kinky bitch or not?
It tells you like There's a short one and a long one. Even the short test is long. So take the short one. Or you can take the long one.
BDSMtest.com.
Test.org. I think it is. BDSMtest.org or .com. Look it up.
Okay, right up.
Is that, yeah?
This your website? Look.
It's not mine. But you
This
know,
on the dark web. Hold on, man. You better get my shit hacked.
That's your favorite web.
But it's a really good way to like know your kinks and know your partner's kinks, and you can like take the test together even, and then like share each other's like things. And actually, if they're like opposite, so there's like somebody who's like a degradee, that means you like to be degraded. Me, or somebody who's like
Both
a dominant.
You giving us her reparations. I know what she doing.
Wow.
You degrade me.
Reparations is crazy.
You've been through enough.
I'm stepping out of this conversation.
Wow, that's new. That's what.
Are your partners like black?
Do you do that though? Are your partners like black?
They are. Oh my God! I'm gonna stay out this conversation. All right.
I like you, Leah. You good in my books.
The girl is dying for some reparations. I hate you.
You want some reparations?
I hate you.
Come over here. No.
I hate you. I hate you.
With me today. Ain't nothing wrong with it, girl. Go ahead. All right, just a few more things. We were just talking about like relationships and just kind of like the sex drive and bedroom roles and things of that nature. We talked about it up here when we had Zuri, just about couples who are struggling with mismatched sex drives.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to say for couples that have mixed match sex drive? That's a hard word to say.
Yeah, mixed match. Yeah.
There we go.
So it's funny because I'm actually talking about that at my next Let's Talk About Sex workshop, where I'm talking about there's a book called Come As You Are. It's a really good book. Come As You Are. You should get it. I think I talked about it at Cocktails and Conversations too, but it talks about how different people have different sex drives, and it can be based on just like your body, your physiology, but also like past experiences. So like trauma or just like the way that you were taught how to love, like growing up and past relationships. Mm-hmm. And there's something called your accelerators and your brakes. And so your accelerators is like what turns you on, what makes you press go, and the brakes are things that make you like say stop. So some people might have more brakes that go off all the time, or some people whose accelerator is on all the time. So they're like always ready to go.
Always horny.
Yeah. That's basically me. So that means you might have like you too.
Oh, no, I was saying
Go ahead, little horny.
But it's like
DJ Horny.
You so childish, bro. DJ Horny is crazy.
No more DJ eXeL. DJ Horny.
DJ
Come
Horny.
on, y'all. Y'all
Damn.
My bad, God.
They're
I'm
like,
sorry.
wow, upsetting the
Hear that
Lord.
Dorothy, you bring that thunder.
Y'all,
So
get y'all friend.
So there's responsive desire and there's spontaneous desire.
Okay.
And so I feel like I have spontaneous desire. So like that means like I can get turned on by like anything. So even if we're, you know, watching cartoons or just like cooking in the kitchen or like, you know, at the grocery store, I might get turned on because I just am spontaneous. Like,
why are you picking up those
sexually.
pineapples? Like,
you know, that pineapple's making me think about it makes my pussy taste good, so ooh, I want to eat it. Ooh, it's so juicy and sweet, you know. But somebody who has like responsive desire, that means that like they're gonna get turned on by already like kissing or watching porn or, you know, seeing a fat ass walking down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that is determined by all the things I talked about earlier, like your physiological responses, but also your like past. So
my bad. But what if y'all both are responsive? So like somebody you have
Everybody on the brakes.
like, so it's kind of like somebody got to be the initiator or something.
Yeah,
right?
you just have to be really intentional about that.
Word.
Because I think that I experienced that in my last relationship where I was spontaneous and she was responsive. What we talked about is great because she also read Come As You Are, and so I did too. And so we could talk about it like, oh, my brake was really on when this happened and my accelerator. It's a really good way to be able to have that language, to like have that conversation and not make it be like, you never want to fuck when I want to fuck and I'm always trying to initiate it. You don't want it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you have the language so you can like calmly talk about it.
I like that a lot.
You know?
Gotta have that language. Because, yeah, it's like, do you want to fuck me or not? It's like, don't say it like that.
Me or not?
Yeah, it's like, it's not even like that. Okay.
Or somebody might take something personal or
Yep.
something, and the whole time it's like, it's just that communication, and it's way deeper than what we think. And sometimes like we think it's just communication, but we don't even know how to express it. So that's why it is important for like books like that to be like, oh damn, I never even thought about it. Or you might not even realize something about yourself.
Yeah, because some people when they're stressed, they might not want to have sex at all.
Yeah,
some people when they're stressed, they might want to be fucking all the time because they want to fuck away the stress, you know?
Yep.
So everybody's different. It's important to be able to like say like, hey, I'm just, you know, I need for you to do X, Y, or Z to make me turned on, or can we just cuddle and then that'll make me turned on because we're cuddling and I'm close to you, you know, kind of thing. So like being able to have that conversation of like, this is what's going to turn me on, or these are times that make me turned off, or like having a plan where it's like, okay, on Friday nights, we're going to like, I'm going to wear lingerie and you're going to cook for me, and like intentionally building those moments to be able to have that, have sex when you're both a responsive desire. So creating the time for response.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So do you think like the term lesbian bed death, is that just bad communication, you think, or is that a real thing? Or is it
I don't really know.
know.
Because honestly, I've not really been in long-term relationships.
Okay.
So I feel like
Really?
I can't really speak to that. Because like for me,
you never hit that peak in your
no, like I want to
okay.
fuck all the time. Like if you're my boo, like we're fucking.
They want to fuck too. Or
no, I'm always the initiator.
Okay.
Like people can't really keep up and like
period. Do they think
true.
like you got a problem? Like have you experienced people like, and is that even a good thing to try to correlate? Like if somebody want to have sex all the time, is that like, yo, why you always horny? Like
I think one thing for me though is I do see it as a way to like connect with somebody, and so I think that's something that I need to work on, is maybe there's a way that I can physically connect with them that's not sexual. And so like that's something I noticed came up in like the last serious relationship I had, is like I wanted to connect and she's like I said earlier, can we just cuddle? Can we just, you know, we don't.
She
could it not
tired.
be- yeah,
The
and
girl
I'm like,
tired.
yeah, you'll get your energy. You know, it's like the adrenaline rush. You know, it'll happen. But no, I get it.
Do you feel
That's funny.
neglected, like as a, in a relationship, if
question.
somebody is very sexually or wants to be sexually active and the other one might not have the same sex drive? Like, did you feel neglected or?
Yeah, I think it can feel like you're being like denied, even though it has nothing to do with you. That's something you have to, and that's why you have to communicate. Like when this happens, I feel like this. You know what I mean? So it's like that's something I try to say. It's like when I try to have sex with you and you don't want to, it makes me feel like you're not attracted to me. And then they say like, well, if I'm stressed out, I don't want you touching my titties, or you know, like it's like when you be able to have that conversation to make it about me. This is how I feel when this happens. But it's making. I mean, it's not hard, and maybe you're just not compatible.
Yeah, because if you don't communicate that the whole time, you could be feeling neglected.
And it
And
has
she's
nothing
like,
to
"No,
do with
I love having sex with you. I just
or they might feel like they're not attractive. Am I ugly? Like
maybe it has to do with them, right? If they're like, I just had this pimple on my nose for 5 weeks, and
ain't nobody worried about that.
Yeah. Okay, that's a really good one. Okay,
Well, look, we got a segment called "We Listen and We Don't Judge." All right, this segment, you know, you're telling us something that I feel like you got something from
I feel
everything.
like Leah got something.
You know, you kind of told us already, but like, is there a story you want to tell us? We're not going to judge you. You know, we're just here to open up. You know, let you communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that mine is when I first had sex with women. The first time I had sex with a woman, I did not like how she tasted.
Oh.
And so, yeah, I thought that meant that I didn't like eating pussy. And then I was like, does that mean that I'm not gay? And it was like a whole like very confusing thing. Yeah, like I was like, what's wrong with me? Am I like falling into like heteronormativity? Like this some fucked up shit that men say, because it's like this whole idea like women are supposed to taste like pineapples and like smell like flowers, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like they don't. Like pussy smells like pussy and tastes like a pussy, and like some taste different than others. But I didn't know that because it was my first time. And so I think that because I didn't like it, I was really confused.
What didn't you like about it?
Was it not the best?
It was
Was it a
Like-
fish?
like,
was it a fish dinner? Was it giving JJ's fish?
It was just very, yeah.
Okay.
When you start
She's
itching,
salty.
Salty is
It
crazy.
was so salty.
it was sweaty. Whenever something is salty, I mean it's sweaty. I used to lick salty nipples.
Yeah, salty nipples.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right
Hot.
after the club in the
Right
car,
after
huh?
Hot salty nipples.
Hot salty nipples.
Trying to get that breast milk.
Yeah, trying to.
But okay, so that's crazy. I never thought about that, but that makes sense. Like if your first experience is really bad, it might make you second think second guess the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you were like, fuck it, let me give it another try, and was like,
yeah,
hold on.
I was just like, I was determined, I guess, because I was like, I know that I'm gay, but like I'm confused now, and I literally did the research. I'm like, does this mean that I'm not gay anymore? But then I just realized it's just like a pheromones thing, you know. It's like you're not gonna like how everybody smells, or like. But I realized I do like it now.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. You gotta get in there more than once.
Yeah,
Make sure your nose gets
because it
wet.
might just not be the right person. Maybe
That's
she
correct.
just, not for you.
All right. Well, we learned a lot up here today. Is there anything like one final takeaway that you want every queer person listening to walk away knowing about sexual health or pleasure?
I would just say that's important to like own your pleasure, like know your body, play with yourself, and then be able to like feel comfortable like talking to people about your desires and your wants and your needs, because nobody can read your mind. Nobody knows. So just try to feel more comfortable having that conversation.
Facts. And if you own it, you can't be embarrassed of none of it. And, you're going to live your best life, I feel like.
On to the next. There's plenty of fishes in the sea.
God. All right. Thank you, Leah. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Leah.
And do you have events?
Oh, yes. I do have an event. I would love to actually have an event every single weekend.
Okay. I was going to say, before you say a date, like, because I'm not sure when it's going to come out, like, just let us know, like, where they can find your events and stuff, and what type of event. Yeah,
so you can find me on Instagram at Sex Talks ATL, SEXTALKS ATL, on IG, and I have events every month of June, and you can just check it out there for more events.
That's dope.
And they'll be about sex education, typically for like lesbian women, queer women. That's my like main audience.
I mean, that's our audience too, so y'all better pull up. All right, well, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, Leah.
It's No Homo Show.
Whole lot of gay shit. Whole lot of gay. I like that.
Boss Britt, we certified, and DJ eXeL.